Throughout the course of mankind's history, Sonic the Hedgehog has been known for one thing. And what is it? Of course, it's going fast. So, naturally, Sonic racing games only make sense. And so far, he's had 8 of them. Most of them were complete dog shit, so today I'm going to focus on 2 in specific, those being Team Sonic Racing and Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transform. I'm going to go over Team Sonic Racing first, which was released in 2019 for the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, PC, Switch, and the Amazon Luna for some reason. I didn't even know that was a thing. So this game features a story mode, car customization system, and most importantly a team element. When this was revealed, myself and many others were skeptical by the system. It was like Sonic Heroes but in cars for some reason. I personally thought it would ruin the game, but it did quite the opposite. I'll give you a quick, simple Cliff Notes breakdown of how the team system works. So you're in a team of 3, which means if you're a loser without any friends, you'll have AI teammates. But luckily the AI isn't like incredibly stupid. So to win a race, each member of your team has to place well. So if you come first but your 2 teammates come last and second last, you won't win. This sounds like a real pain in the ass, but it isn't, because you can help your teammates by giving them items, and whenever you drive you leave a trail boost behind you that your teammates can use to get extra speed. And if this boost is used enough times, you get your team ultimate. Or if you're boring, you can play Grand Prix races by yourself without team elements. I'm not sure why you would want to do that, but the option is there. The first thing you see when you load into this game is a beautiful CGI cutscene where Eggman is viciously killed by 3 of Sonic's friends.
Jesus
Why
Christ.
do you do my bro like that? This shit's so sad! What?
They just fucking killed Eggman!
What the fuck,
Holy
man?
shit!
One of my favorite things about this game is mod pods. They're essentially loot crates, but you can't pay for them and you have to earn them. And these give you things like horns, liveries, and items to use at the beginning of a race. But most importantly, parts for your car, and parts like wheels, bumpers, etc. These parts are completely random and you get them for any character. And they're not only cosmetic, they can enhance things like your speed, acceleration, and defense. As well as adding different parts, you can also paint your car. Each character has their own paint scheme, which is like, paint to represent that character's color scheme. And these can be used on anyone. For example, you can use the Knuckles paint scheme on Big's car. And despite this being quite a small little thing you can do, it adds quite a lot to the game. Speaking of characters, we have 15 of them in this game, all of which you can see on screen right now. Now personally, I would have liked to have Cream, Charmy, Espio, and Chaos, but it's fine, I guess. And unlike All-Stars Transformed, Metal Sonic isn't behind a paywall, but we'll get to that later on. Now each character has a different car as usual, but characters are almost exactly the same, with the only difference being appearance and voice lines. Now, you'll be hearing these voice lines quite often, so you can disable them, and I would recommend doing so because there's one voice line they forgot to take out of the game, and I'll show it to you right now. It's really weird.
Tough talk for a fellow with a small cock.
There's 21 different tracks in this game, and all of them have pretty solid OSTs, but there's some remixed songs in this game that I think pale in comparison to the original. I'll show you an example quickly. There's not much to talk about when it comes to the normal races, but there are a few kind of side races or just other modes, I guess, that I'd like to go over really quick. The first kind I'll talk about is these ring challenges, where essentially you just need to complete the race but you're under a timer, and for every ring you collect you get a small amount of time added, or I'm not sure exactly how it works. I don't really care. It's really boring. But I just thought I'd at least bring it up. But sometimes the rings can be hard to see because of how high the bloom is in this game at times. You can kind of see it on screen right now, but at least it's not as bad as Sonic Colors Ultimate. The second and last kind I'll talk about is called Daredevil, where you essentially just have to like drift through these, like, I don't even know what they are. You have to drift through these rings, and if you drift you get a bigger score. Again, it's really boring, and I appreciate the attempt at variety, but I feel like they could have done something else, maybe like a battle mode or something, I don't know, but yeah, these side modes aren't very good. At least the story mode is pretty fun, and here's a summary I stole from Google. A Tanuki named Dodonpaw sends invitations to Sonic and his friends to compete in a series of team-based races. He builds cars outfitted with advanced technology for every racer, offering the cars as a prize for the winning team. I understand that sounds pretty boring, but to play through, it's pretty fun, and I mean the story is kind of interesting, and at least it kept me interested throughout, because there's not really a plot twist, but there kind of also is. It's hard to explain, but there's no animated cutscenes throughout the story besides the one CGI cutscene you get at the start, but it's better than whatever that was in Forces.
None of this is good, Vector. That's why it's called war.
There's also this cool world map that reminds me of the one from Colors, and also Mario, obviously. Now that's all I really have to say about this game for now. I'll give you my overall thoughts. I think it's pretty solid. It's very unique and honestly one of my favorite kart racers to play. I'd give it a solid 8 out of 10. It's just a shame not many people gave it a try. Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transformed were released in 2012 for the PS3, Wii U, 3DS, iOS and Android, and probably the Amazon Luna. This game, much like Team Sonic Racing, introduces its own unique feature that hasn't been seen in a kart racer before. So yeah, in this game you can change between air, sea and land races in between laps, because on certain tracks, the track itself will change completely to incorporate, boats, planes or cars better. And this is a mechanic I would love to see return in a potential sequel one day. When it comes to customization, this game really doesn't have much to offer besides, mods that increase, your handling, your boost, your speed and acceleration. One thing I love about this game is it features some really old forgotten Sega characters such as Wreck-It Ralph, Danica Patrick, Yogscast, and none of these are Sega or even video game characters for that matter. It's a shame that there's 24 characters in this game and only 7 of them are Sonic characters. I really don't know why we have, Danica Patrick, Team Fortress 2 and Wreck-It Ralph. I think even adding Vanellope would have made sense because, she's from Wreck-It Ralph and her whole thing is like she's a kart racer. Like, that would have made sense and would have been a cool addition, but we got Ralph instead. And also, as previously mentioned, Metal Sonic is behind a paywall. You have to pay $2.99 to get him, and he comes with a bonus track. Now lucky for us, the track you get with buying Metal Sonic is a really cool, classic Sonic track that pays homage way back to the, just kidding, you get Outrun Bay, take it or leave it. Now, even though that is a shame, you still do get some really cool tracks in this game. I think my personal favorite is Samba Studios because it has this fucking banger. Now, while this game does have no team element, worst character roster, and is overall less polished, I think it's still a really good time. I think it feels more like a classic kart racer experience than Team Sonic Racing does, and it's probably what you're used to. It feels more like Mario Kart than Team Sonic Racing does, and sadly it doesn't have a story mode, but it's still really fun. But there's one thing I should bring up, which is the items. So of course in Mario Kart, you know, for the items you use iconic items from Mario's universe, like the mushroom and the star. And in Team Sonic Racing, you use wisps from Sonic Colors. And in this game, you use really cool items from Sonic's past, and I got you again, no you don't. You use things like blowfish, snowballs, and fireworks that have nothing to do with Sonic. I seriously have no idea why they chose to use these items, but they did. They're fine, they work, they're pretty solid. I just don't understand why they're, you know, blowfish.
You are a blowfish.
What?
One item I do like in this game, I like it a lot, is the All-Star, which is basically the star from Mario Kart, except it's unique to each individual character. To help you get a better understanding of what I mean, I'll quickly show you 2 or 3. Now, while these are pretty cool, I do have one complaint, and it's how Knuckles' like all-star music cuts out, because it plays a very good song, but since they used the just normal version and not the instrumental, it cuts out like almost as soon as the vocals start. Let me show you. Okay, also this game does have like side modes. I really don't care. They're boring. They don't add anything to the game really besides variety, which is just, it's not good. But what I will mention is the online multiplayer, which I played with my friend Ben. It's really fun, but it can be glitchy at times. I'll show you an example right here. Also, slight seizure warning. Yeah, so for whatever reason, we had a few issues on Samba Studios playing online multiplayer. We had 2 or 3 issues that happened, and it didn't completely ruin it, but I just thought I'd mention it, so just don't play that one, I guess. And also, here's like an insanely close finish we had on this track.
Whoa! Too easy.
So yeah, there you go. I mean, that's basically all I have to talk about with this. I could go into a bit more detail, but this entire script was handwritten and it's like 15 and a bit pages. But yeah, I just want to say thank you for watching. It's my first time making a video like this, so I know it's not good. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'll improve over time, but I just want to say thank you for watching. I don't like asking, but make sure to like and subscribe, I guess. That feels so cringe saying that, but there you go. And yeah, have a good rest of your day.